Radio Free America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
The guys and gals have got...
And welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. We come to you every weekday night at midnight Eastern. For about an hour each night, we talk about guns. We got Angelina joining us back from California. Thanks for jumping in.
Hello, everybody. Nice to be back.
I'm down here in Tucson, and Dano is out for the night. So we'll see if he's actually out for the night or if he's going to chat in the chat.
I can't believe he wouldn't come on for my first show back.
Yeah, he's rude. He doesn't understand civility, but that's right. So Angelina's back from, how many miles did it end up taking?
I think it was 7,000 something.
And it sounds like you did not then stay over like you had planned, days at a time at certain spots along the way?
We did. A couple of places we stayed, a day or two or whatever. And then we just kind of moseyed on. We were just trying to pack as much shit into one trip as we could.
Did the rental and all that stuff go smoothly?
Yeah, it went good. Gas was super cheap, really. Much less than I had anticipated. So that was cool. But yeah, the rental worked out good. I brought back a bunch of shit from New York for a family member.
Well, it's customary to bring your co-hosts all kinds of presents and gifts.
Oh, well, I might actually have a present for you, but you don't know yet.
Just saying it's customary. I don't oblige by those customs because I'm trying to break them. But anyway, so the car, no issues with driving, or how'd hotels go?
Hotels went pretty good because I guess at some point we were just like, fuck it, let's be ballers. So we ended up staying at fancy hotels. So in Washington, D.C., we stayed right down the street from the White House, like a Pennsylvania Avenue address type thing.
How much was that hotel?
It was $300 for a night.
For both people, though?
Well, for one room, yeah.
Crazy. So the budget got blown, it sounds like?
Yeah, the budget got pretty raped. So that's why I'll be working a lot. But it was cool because we were I don't know how much a block is, but we were pretty close to the White House. Maybe a block. How far is a block? Is that a standard unit of measure, or does it vary?
I think it varies.
It was super close. You walked 5 steps. Not 5 steps, but not far.
Well, there's nothing to do at the White House. Did you take a tour of the White House?
No, I stood outside the White House, and you know how you used to be able to go up to the gate, but now you have to go back? Yeah,
you're nowhere near the White House. It looks tiny no matter where you are in D.C.
Yeah, you're pretty far back. So we walked over there, and then the mall, I guess, the World War II thing, the Vietnam Wall, Lincoln's thing, the Washington Monument, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, I thought you were going to see the Smithsonian to get there.
We didn't go in the museum because it was fucking pouring. We get to New York, and then we eat dinner with some family, and then the next day our plan is to just see Manhattan. So we go, and by 5 o'clock, I'm sitting in the Bronx, trying to get to where we're going in the car, and the fucking wind starts blowing, howling. The sky's black, and then it just starts pissing down fucking rain, and it doesn't stop until we get to Virginia. So it was following us for a week. So then everything was shitty. You're walking around Washington, D.C., fucking rain. I don't own an umbrella. I live in California. So I had to buy an umbrella. like, you know, glasses suck when you're in the rain. So I fucking hate that. I hate like moist. So it was kind of shitty. But my point there was that the Smithsonian was packed because it was like an indoor dry activity.
Yeah, so people were going to those instead of just hanging out. Because, yeah, you normally...
Oh, yeah, it was like a mile-long line. It was ridiculous. It was like all the way down the fucking street.
And this is like Ubering from a hotel, or this is like driving over there and then parking and then finding out there's a long line after you walked over there, or driving in front and seeing a long line? Or
well, we were driving because we were going somewhere else, and then we were going to park back at the hotel because it was like, you know, $80 parking, of course, with unlimited ins and out. So we're going to park back at the hotel and then walk over to the Smithsonian because it wasn't very far. And we drove by and it was like, nope, fuck that.
So then is it just keep moving and don't stay as long as you were gonna, kind of thing?
No, we just like, that's when we saw the Vietnam Wall thing and then the World War II and then just different, like, you know, Department of whoever building. Because our next stop wasn't very far, so we hung around there and then fucked off. But it was, I actually got a Make America Great Again hat while I was there, just because where else would you buy one? Besides down the street from Trump.
They're just everywhere in DC, probably.
A couple places, yeah. A lot of Trump stuff. I got a magnet where his like bottom half moves, so it's like he's dancing.
Any issues with parking that vehicle?
Not really. I mean, I'm like good at parallel parking, so and that was all it was. When we went to Philadelphia, you've been to Liberty Bell, right?
No, I drove around and it was a pain in the butt to find it. They had everything like closed off for some sort of like hippie street festival.
Oh yeah, the area's kind of small. But we were able to park like on the street right next to Liberty Bell, and then, you know, walk to Independence Hall and all that kind of stuff. So we got parking like super easy there and super good parking, and it was only like $5 for 3 hours maybe. So with parking, we were actually pretty lucky.
How about cameras and that kind of thing? Did you get any work done?
Some. We got some pictures.
I didn't see any patch pictures anywhere.
Yeah, I only took one fucking patch picture, because then at some point I was like, I'm not working. I'm like going crazy. So if I drank, I would have probably been drunk the whole time. But yeah, it was basically just let go and let God.
So like for everybody who's listening who hasn't partied to it, like for months, it's like, I'm gonna go to the Alamo. Where do you park at the Alamo? Because I want to get a picture of this patch of the Alamo. Oh, I'm not gonna get that patch before I load on my trip. Oh, I finally got my patch. Now I can take my picture of the Alamo.
And then I just fucking didn't. Like so I'm standing in front of the Alamo, like, oh, you know, it'd be cool. Oh shit, I left that patch in the car. Oh, fuck it. But it happened literally everywhere. Like, oh, here I am, you know.
Oh, here's that sign that I have a sticker for.
Yeah, here I am at the.
I stopped and took a picture, but then didn't hold the sticker up next to it. They have like a guard or a ranger or something, because it's National Park, at the Liberty Bell, like guarding the Liberty Bell. So one little like fact about me is that I like to fucking touch shit, especially if it says don't touch it. Like I touched some Egyptian thing at the museum in LA. When I went to the Vatican, I was touching fucking everything in the Vatican. I just do it. I can't stop myself. So, you know, the Liberty Bell, obviously that's like a high target for me, because who doesn't want to say they touched the Liberty Bell? So I'm looking like, all right, how can I touch this thing? Where can I do it? And they got this fucking bitch like hounding it. So then I say to her, hey, have you ever like secretly touched it? Because then I think like if I could like, hey to her, maybe she'll let me touch it. And she just snaps back, no. And I want to be like, what a bitch. But yeah, I didn't get to touch the Liberty Bell. One day.
But it is just sitting there, touchable.
Yes. So there's like a kind of a rope or something around it. You could definitely touch it, but they got this, like I said, this ranger or whatever she was, walking around it. But if you were quick, you could totally you could just reach across and be like, yeah, and then you're gonna get kicked out. So,
what was that piece of wall or piece of metal or something you were gonna touch that you had planned out where the ropes were and everything?
The Titanic.
Was that? That was in LA though, right?
In Vegas.
Well, that was in Vegas. Did you end up touching the Titanic then? No,
because I haven't been to that thing in Vegas yet.
Oh, that's right. You went out on across to Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So did the route change or just the timetable change?
We went from here to Albuquerque in one leg, and then Albuquerque to somewhere in Oklahoma. I can't remember now. Then we went by the Cherokee Nation and saw that. Then through Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, like that way to Gettysburg. Did that whole thing. New Jersey, New York, down to Philadelphia, DC, Chattanooga, New Orleans, Houston, and then back. So it was, it was pretty en route.
All right, I was trying to cue this up because you didn't warn me. Okay, so all right, I guess we can quit interrogating you on the trip. It sounds like you might have actually gone on a trip. You definitely got your story all.
I got my story mostly down.
Yeah.
There were a couple weird things. Like I walked in on this woman on the toilet, and she didn't flinch or move or like get weirded out by it at all. I saw an Amish people dating Amish. Fuck, what else? There's something else that was weird. I can't remember it now.
Well, we'll have a band chat and we can talk more about some of the other destinations. And I had sort of a theme for it, and you were going to go to a bunch of graveyards and churches and things like that.
I did do that.
I guess for this show, though, Gettysburg, did that work out?
Yeah.
I saw a couple of pictures, I think.
I saw a bunch of cool stuff. Learned a lot about it. Walked some battlefields, I guess. It's pretty interesting. Definitely a lot bigger than I thought.
The battlefields or the areas or what?
Yeah, the battlefield is like gigantic, and the town is actually part of the battlefield. Like the buildings there are all shot up. And like there was a cemetery. Like we stayed in a hotel that was called Inn at Cemetery Hill, and the cemetery, they had like a unit, clan, group, den, I don't know, of guys sleeping in the fucking cemetery. And they had like cannons in there and stuff. And when you drive around, because there's this like audio disc tour, it tells you like over here was, Northern Virginia Regiment, blah, 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 blah.
So like reenactors or like homeless people?
No, I'm talking about when the war was being fought. Like they were camping in the cemetery. That was like one of the places they were. So the battle was the entire like fucking town and surrounding it.
Right. So moving things over here. So what is today? Tuesday. It's a weird week because of the holiday. Messes with the schedule, so it's technically Second Amendment Tuesday. I don't know if we're going to cover that. We're about halfway through. Did you get to any gun shops on the trip?
Yes, actually, I did go to 2 gun shops, and I saw a sign for a gun shop in the Bronx, and I took a picture of it, and it was a really cool sign. I don't know if they actually sold guns, though, because it was fucking freezing, it was raining, and I'm pretty sure I heard some gunshots. So I was like, I'm leaving.
Well, for our gun shop of the day, what's one of the shops that you visited? Sounds like these shops are about 3,500 miles away from each other.
I don't even remember. I have to look at my pictures to get a name. Come on. Talk about something else and I'll get a thing.
So were these like you were driving along and this happened to be an opportune time to visit a gun shop, or stuff that you had planned to visit along the way, or like before you'd even left, like destinations?
I was, well, it was pretty much we were somewhere and then it was like, oh, there's a gun shop, let's go inside, if I had a chance. I went to one near the fucking Cherokee Nation. I'm trying to figure out what it was called. Def Con Supply, I think this was it. Maybe. We're not doing a gun shop of the day.
All right, well, somebody was asking, Pickle was asking, what is freezing for you?
Freezing for me is probably, well, I can handle like California 50 degrees, but other places 50 degrees is pretty horrible. But it was raining and like the rain was fucking cold and there was wind. And I don't like rain.
You can bring a windbreaker.
I brought a Dodgers hoodie and then it was raining and I was like, how the fuck do people stay dry anywhere? And then realized a hoodie isn't like a real jacket anywhere else.
Sports don't know nothing about windbreaking. Can't go to sports. You need to go to the outdoors for windbreaking.
Well, now I know. Now I'm never going to leave the house without a fucking umbrella and a real jacket.
Metric flags. I don't know what that means. So, I don't know what that means. So then, nothing going on the gun channel side as far as questions or nothing. So, I guess we don't really have a gun shop today. I guess what we could technically talk about is the gun shop over on 24/7 Gun Show, which is an auction site I set up over the weekend for the members of gun channels. So check that out if you're interested in getting rid of some stuff and making a couple of bucks, trading with people. You can set things up as a member of gun channels. It's completely free, so you can set things up as a buy it now, kind of use it as a store if you have some items that you just want to sell. If you're not sure what they're worth or how interested people might be in them, or you want to have a couple of people have an opportunity to fight it out to see how much they want to spend on something that you might have, then you can post that over there, give it as much or as little time. You can do it as a quick auction, do it during a live show or something. I think you can even do it quicker than an hour. Or if you want to do it for a few weeks even, you can do that. There's no cost to relist something, so feel free to fill it up with that stuff that's in the reloading cabinet or in the range bag or just in the cabinets that you don't need in the garage or in the basement. And that way people can move things around to people that might be interested, and we can all make a couple of bucks, and it's a nice way to play around with gun channels. Dano and I did a show a little earlier today. You can check that out over on the gear side. And thought about Dano brought up doing something like a Antiques Roadshow, perhaps, something like that, where we do a live show once in a while and people jump in who are going to be selling stuff or have auctions up, and they can show off their stuff, talk about the story behind it, have some fun with it. So Angelina, feel free to use it to post some things over there. I was thinking for something like you have every once in a while something that everybody grabs and you have a limited number of, maybe some of your last ones you could do as auctions over there.
Oh, that's a good idea. I also have a AR-15 upper, like a complete upper. Is that something I could put on there, or is there rules?
Yeah, the rules are you got to be a member of gun channels to post, but otherwise anybody can buy and bid and win and buy stuff off you. So you just got to follow whatever federal laws, of course. But yeah, sure, feel free to post any kind of parts or guns or whatever, as long as you follow laws. That's what it's all about. So
Oh, sweet. Well, if anyone is in the market for an AR-15 upper, got one.
Cool. One of the things we'll be doing as part of this show, I'm going to work it into the schedule. We'll take a look at some of the new items that are over there, and as we start some of the other projects, we'll be including those items for sale, or the ones that are ending soon, or somehow we'll filter them out and talk about the ones that are interesting to people in our shows. We encourage people to do that in whatever shows you might be doing. If you're looking for something to fill some air on a live show, or if just a conversation gets stuck on a panel show, feel free to jump over there and look at some of the stuff people are offering. Otherwise, that was our gun shop. So it's the gun shop.
Well, wait a second. How do we get there? Like, where do you go to find this?
So you can either just go to 247gunshow.com, 247gunshow.com, or down at the bottom of any page on gun channels, when you're logged in, you'll have that bar where we have our chat rooms and our buddy list and all that. Over on the left side of that, there's a link that says 24/7 Gun Show. That'll open it up for you. Otherwise, there's links on some of the websites and stuff that look like a neon sign that says 24-hour Gun Show. You can click on those.
All right.
It is separate from gun channels, just because every time I put it into gun channels twice before, and it just gets lost in the stuff. Gun channels ends up being mostly driven by the live chats and the main news feed predominantly, and people just don't click over to something like a buy and sell and trade area. But the other thing is, those were buy and sell and trade areas, more like classifieds, more like a Craigslist. So they're efficient for selling things, but they don't give you that opportunity to let people compete for something. Again, something that, even if it's just for a couple of bucks and you don't know if you should sell it for 7 or 10 or 9 or what, you can put it up there for 5 and let the buyers decide what it's worth. Or again, if people want to be creative, you got some kind of logo stuff for your projects or your channel, and you want to put them up there to raise funds or something, it's an opportunity to have something that's signed or unique or one of a kind that you can get the most potential resources for your project out of it. All right, well, that's, like I said, that's our gun shop today. It's a gun show that's live 24/7. And what else? We got a movie. Did you just watch any movies while you were on the road?
No, I did not.
So going to these fancy hotels and stuff, you had enough other things to do than watch the TVs there?
Yeah, because we were getting up early and doing a lot of shit, so I was actually going to sleep. So sometimes you would send me a link and then I'd see it in the morning and I was like, ugh, fail. So I was going to bed like a normal person, which is fucking weird.
He's asking if there's a wanted section. I don't think there is, but I don't know. We could probably create something like an auction that just says wanted, perhaps. But I don't think it's part of it inherently. It's supposed to be emulate YouTube, or I mean eBay. Bob is out there. Remember Bob, a guy from Canada? He used to be on the show once in a while.
Yeah, I miss Bob.
He's 95 subs away from 1,000 subs over there. Once he gets 1,000 subs, Bob can go out there and basically become internet rich, YouTube rich. He can post videos of little kittens and whatnot and just start raking in the money. So if you remember Bob and you like Canada and freedom, then consider going over there and subscribing to his channel. 920. I don't know where he came up with. Oh, okay, I thought he said 55 away. There are wanted ads on eBay. Oh, right now. We don't have wanted ads yet, but we'll see if we can't figure out a way to do the auctions that way. Gary says he's only 698 away from 1,000. So let's get Gary. Go over there and look at the kind of cool stuff that Gary sniffed out at the Wanamaker show. Definitely go sub to Gary.
Oh, I'll watch that.
All right, so you didn't watch any movies. Were you in any movies? Did you film any movies while you were on the road?
No, I don't think so. Oh, you know what? No. There was a video of me spray painting a dick on the Cadillacs at Cadillac Ranch. Yeah. I mean, that's not for the public, though. That was like a family video.
So
my parents
like a billion miles away. So you have to park, and you're going the wrong way. So you're going east, and that means you got to park, or you got to pull off on that overpass and then drive back west to get to it, which would have bugged me. And then park, and then walk like a freaking half a mile, I don't know, a couple miles to get over to them.
It doesn't seem that far. I mean, yeah, there's like a walk from the, what do you call that? Like a frontage road in the rest of America?
Yeah.
I guess. So you park on the frontage road, and then you walk to the Cadillacs, and then we walked to the Cadillacs, and then I was spray painting a dick on one.
Nice. So there's probably children around.
Well, yeah, there were these children running around, so I was trying to be quick about it. And then, yeah.
Vulgar. All right, so that's all you spray paint on there? No stickers or anything?
I was thinking about doing like a gun channels G for you, but then I didn't do it.
You started out making a G, and then it turned into a ball sack, and then another dick got drawn.
Yeah, then it just got crazy, and next thing I knew, there was a video, and then we had to run.
All right, so I guess we're high and dry without a gun movie. So you didn't, on 7,000 miles, not one movie being filmed or a TV show crew or something?
Okay, here's all I watched. To be honest, 100% honest, the only thing I really watched, with the exception of some like stupid YouTube videos, was the royal wedding, and then some kind of news about, I think it was that school shooting somewhere, but that was it for like 2 minutes, and I was like, ugh, off the TV. But I did watch the entire royal wedding, yeah.
Well, you and Gary can, or I mean, you and Rick can get together and have crumpets and talk about that. But,
well, I'm like half English, so it was okay for me.
Yeah, and he's half English, kind of, in a way.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, it's fine for us.
So, Mike.
I bet Bob watched it, though, because that's like, isn't that required?
Yeah, he has to. He's servant to the crown or whatever they call it.
Right.
So, my protocol when I go to a hotel is to turn the TV on so that people can't hear what I'm saying. So that's why I end up seeing TV whenever I go to a hotel, because...
Who are you talking to in the room?
What if I'm just talking to a chat or something?
Oh,
like,
okay.
If you don't have a TV on, you can hear what's going on in the other rooms, right? And I don't want to hear what's going on in the other rooms because half the time it's weird. And if I can hear them, they can hear me. So I don't know what I'm really saying. But, you know, if you're in a room with somebody, then whatever your conversation's about is being heard by a bunch of people. So I'll turn on a TV and then also leave the TV on when you leave. And then burglars don't know if there's maybe somebody in that room. So they have less tendency to steal from the room, right?
I guess, yeah.
So that's why I end up seeing TV all the time whenever I travel or if I'm in a hotel. Because then I also flip the TV to a channel that doesn't suck.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, when we stayed in the Washington, D.C. hotel, the TV was on when we came in the room with like a welcome with like my name on it and everything, like a fancy thing. But that was about the only TV that was on. I think I actually didn't turn with the no, the royal wedding I watched on Facebook, on the royal family's Facebook, because I follow them. But yeah. So I don't think I actually like turned the TV on.
So was it like the dreamiest royal wedding ever?
Well, okay, here's the thing. So, do I like Meghan Markle? I don't. I did watch Suits, and I think she's a horrible actress. So, don't like her. She ruined it. Do I like Prince Harry? I do, but he's a ginger, and I've seen ginger pubes once in my life, and it was too weird. So, do I like William? Yes, but balding. But he's, you know, he's quite fetching. And then the queen is really the fucking star of it because she wears these crazy ass outfits and these hats and shit. And then she's just, you know, she's the queen. So I do watch it for her. I watched it because I wanted to see if Fergie was showing up. And then they had like a little, you know, an empty seat for Diana, and that was nice. Elton John was there. Oprah was there, which was kind of weird, but yeah. What else? The hats. There were a lot of nice hats there. So, yeah, it was an okay wedding. Was it my favorite? No, but it was okay.
All right. Well, nobody expected to get a rundown of the wedding, but now you got it. So now you can use that when you're at the range or at the gun shop next time.
Yeah. Well, it just lets people know that you are well-rounded.
Sure.
Because now you know about the royal wedding.
All right. So what else do we usually talk about on this show? We usually talk about events. So that one's fun. Let's talk about that. I'm going to clear that away, and I'm going to go over to screen sharing here. What is this? So what's the deal with this little dinosaur? People can buy this dinosaur patch?
Let me see where you are. Yeah, you could buy that as a patch. It's got green Velcro. Didn't I finally give you one, but you had to come to California to get it?
More like I distracted you and grabbed one. She has them like locked away in a little plastic vault type of thing.
Oh, yeah. The Grand Heist.
But those are for sale?
They are for sale. There's like 8 of them left. They probably won't get made ever again. So
won't get made because there's no demand, or
won't get made because I was working with someone else when they got made and I don't have access to the mold. So yeah, I might make a different version of him, but that specific one won't be made ever again.
So we're looking at Today in History, and I went over and worked up the gun calendars website where we pull the gun information off of, and I think it made it a little easier to deal with. This is something that's been an itch I've been waiting to scratch for a while, and I finally found some stuff that let me address it. So I'm going to show that off a little bit today. But unfortunately, there's nothing cool gun stuff that happened. So now, if you go over to guncalendars.com and you flip through, you know, however you want through the months or whatever, and you see there's something not there on a day, and you know of a piece of gun history that's, you know, worth posting, please let us know. Email is dailygunshow@gmail.com. You can always contact us. There's always a contact us link on our sites. Of course, I say that. I don't see it here, but there it is.
Does anyone read the email?
Yeah, I went through actually, and we're pretty close. So I think I'm a week behind on the emails now. But like I said, this is one of the things that I'm interested in having something interesting of gun-related content every single day, and that way, again, we have something that competes with the agenda-based, you know, deliberate attention spent on the atrocities, and we can remember how significant and how like integral firearms have been to our history and our development as a country and a culture, and that's important because we're the country and the culture that keeps the world free, and we have for a long time. So let's not forget that, and we won't be bullied by the bullies who want to make us think that there's some issue with it. So anyway, it's one of the projects I've been working on, and there's nothing going on there. I guess I can go click on a couple of links here and try to find the other history, the boring non-gun history, and see if there's anything interesting today.
Probably is.
It's taking forever to load. There's ads all over that one, so it takes a while.
All right, I've done my vote by mail ballot.
1431, Joan of Arc burned at the stake by the English. 1431, a long time ago.
Long time ago.
The first American daily newspaper, the Pennsylvania Evening Post, begins publishing in Philadelphia, 1783. So,
oh, that's nice.
American daily newspaper. William Young patents the ice cream freezer. Iced creams, Dano. Thank you to William Young in 1848. Looks like in 1854, the Kansas-Nebraska Act repealed the Missouri Compromise. What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. Is that trying to say Kansas and Nebraska tried to steal Missouri?
Maybe.
They no longer acknowledge Missouri, and they're not willing to compromise with Missouri? I don't know what that is. I know what the Missouri... I don't know what the Missouri Compromise. I'm thinking of Louisiana Purchase. I don't think I know what any of those things are. So maybe those guys out there from those areas know what they are. 1912, U.S. Marines are sent to Nicaragua to protect American interests. 1912. And it says 1971, NASA launches Mariner 9, the first satellite to orbit Mars. That got launched today, a bunch of years ago. Mel Blanc, isn't that one of the, is that Bugs Bunny?
Yep.
1908. Born today in 1908.
Oh, he's buried in Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
1908. Peter the Great, Tsar of Russia, was born in 1672. So there's a bunch of interesting history things that happened today. I guess while I'm over there, what else do we have up here? Today is 28th? No, 29th already. So we do have a quote over there. And I'm the only one in there, so I guess I'll copy and paste it so Angelina has to read the quote when we're getting done here.
Okay.
And what else we missed? We usually do a gun shop. We kind of did that with the 24/7 gun show online, and then we do a gun movie, which we kind of talked about the movies that Angelina did not watch along the way. Nobody's been mentioning anything for a movie on either side. Oh no, wait. Clerks 3. Is that a real movie? Is there a Clerks 3?
I don't know. I haven't seen Clerks 1 and 2, if that's the case.
Oh, you've never seen Clerks? You might be too young to understand Clerks.
Maybe.
Might be too much for you. So, anyway, we try to talk about that. It is 2A Tuesday, so we didn't talk about anything like that. We really let the ball down on the Second Amendment. So that's our bad. We'll get back at it. And again, appreciate the support, people watching us. Oh, dang it. And the thing I keep forgetting to talk about. We don't have Super Chat on the YouTube because we don't have 1,000 subs. And even if you get 1,000 subs, I think Ghost said he's waiting 4 months now. Once he's past the thresholds that they require to even be eligible for stupid monetization anymore. And we don't have monetization on this channel. I only have it on one channel. And I didn't get my live stuff back. While you were gone, my strikes expired, so my community strikes are gone on YouTube, but they never gave me back my ability to live feed. So I can't live feed on the channel with 160, almost 170,000 subs anymore, which is frustrating because I really like going live and doing that. It was not only fun, but I found that, we've met a lot of people doing that kind of thing. So that's frustrating. But in any case, I guess I was saying thanks to everybody who's supporting the stuff we're doing out there. Do appreciate it. Dead Horse is saying in 1982, the Pentagon planned the first strategy to fight a nuclear war. What? That doesn't make sense. 1982, Pentagon planned. That can't be right. On this day in 1988, Reagan said that, huh? So we did a Reagan, I guess you could say, speech at a Memorial Day speech from one of the years he was in office. You a fan of the Reagan years?
I am of the Reagan. I am a fan of the Reagan years, yes. Although, you know, that's when I emerged during the Reagan years.
Oh, okay, so you only know of them like after you weren't a kid or nothing.
Yeah, I wasn't like a participant, but you know, I like what I have studied.
Sometimes people are, you know, anti-Reagan. He can be controversial, or I guess.
Well, I mean, let's not forget he was the governor of California.
But people liked him, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I mean, like I said, when did he stop being like president? 89, I think. So he was my president for like 4 years. He was the first president I ever had. So, yeah, I'm into it. I think he has a lot of good policies. When he died, actually, I walked around his coffin, but I couldn't touch it. I couldn't touch it, but I wanted to.
So, being an actor though and an eloquent speaker, he's pretty, and then a conservative. He's got a pretty decent collection of things that he said, and this is, I think, one of the more iconic ones. And I hope that people, even on both sides of the political spectrum, can appreciate this one. But it was a verbal, kind of a verbal, interesting thing that happened back today in 1987. It says 1987. That this says June 12th. So what?
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
No, that was like the shortest version of it ever.
In the East. To those listening throughout Eastern Europe, I extend my warmest greetings and the goodwill of the American people. To those listening in East Berlin, a special word. Although I cannot be with you, I address my remarks to you just as surely as to those standing here before me. For I join you, as I join your fellow countrymen in the West, in this firm, this unalterable belief, es gibt nur ein Berlin. Behind me stands a wall that encircles the three sectors of this city, part of a vast system of barriers that divides the entire continent of Europe. From the Baltic south, those barriers cut across Germany in a gash of barbed wire, concrete, dog runs, and guard towers. Farther south, there may be no visible, no obvious wall, but there remain armed guards and checkpoints all the same. Still a restriction on the right to travel. Still an instrument to impose upon ordinary men and women the will of a totalitarian state. Yet it is here in Berlin where the wall emerges most clearly. Here, cutting across your city, where the news photo and the television screen have imprinted this brutal division of a continent upon the mind of the world. Standing before the Brandenburg Gate, every man is a German, separated from his fellow men. Every man is a Berliner, forced to look upon a scar. President von Weizsäcker has said the German question is open as long as the Brandenburg Gate is closed. Today I say, as long as this gate is closed, as long as this scar of a wall is permitted to stand, It is not the German question alone that remains open, but the question of freedom for all mankind.
Oh, then they cut it off. So we listened to all that for nothing. So anyway, that was not today. That was supposed to be in 17th or something. So I don't know if he's trolling us or if he's got bad data out there. But we've turned a little bit of Reagan anyway.
Well, it's good. I think we all need to hear that.
Yeah, maybe not. Well, can't win them all. So that's what happens when it's live. So with that, I think we've hit all the stuff we like to hit on a daily basis. Angelina's back rocking and rolling, it sounds like, at Anchor. So I saw that you have the tablecloths for gun shows and trade shows.
Yeah, we're gonna actually I'm doing, so I got to do a bunch of flags. So we're doing a flag run, so I'm trying to make it easier on myself and get all the tablecloths done.
You got the big printer working again?
Got it working. So the head came, popped it in. So far, so good.
Right on. So again, if you need something to make your booth at a trade show or a table at a gun show, look something different than the stuff around it, and let it be easier for people to remember when they're going to come back and pick something up. Those aren't that expensive. How much are they? Well, they're on special now, or just the runs?
There's a deal up there. So if you get 2 of them, or you want an 8-foot and a 6-foot, I don't know what the pricing is. I don't even remember. I have to go look. But also banners, like a full color printed banner, you can add one of those on. But yeah, they're kind of nice. And then if you do events or whatever, it just makes you look a little professional, and that matters.
Right on. So we got that quote in the side. You can be Bob tonight.
All right, I can be Bob. I'm not Canadian, but I'm American, so I'm actually free. So the defense of oneself cannot be what is that? Abrogated by any regulation of municipal law. This principle is not confined merely to the person, but to the liberty of everyone whose liberty is unjustly and forcibly attacked. James Wilson, United States Supreme Court Justice.
Websites.com. Encourage.
Come on. Here we go.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.